Hi, this is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, here to fix you and help you grow your property and your business affairs to the next level. So if you're looking for knowledge and insights about how to get involved in property, solve your problems about scalability in your property business, then do watch our 20-minute clips. We've taken them from hundreds and, well, thousands of videos that we've taken over the last 6 months, and we've broken them into simple chunks which can make them useful for you. So do watch and do subscribe to our YouTube channel underneath as well.
Correct. But people were doing it because everybody else was doing it in the Netherlands. And now that they're not doing it, you actually start questioning certain things as to, is this right? Should I just be kissing someone on the cheeks randomly? So it does, I mean, there's lots of questions that come up because of that. But I think there's also that feeling of emptiness that must be in lots of people's lives because of the traumas they're going through, because of the traumas they may have suffered. And I think you would feel the want of something that you possibly take for granted before the lockdown or before COVID. Is that right, Lakhi? I mean, you went to see your parents. You had to wear a mask. You had to stand in the window, like, Jurassic Park, making funny noises, tapping on the window. Did you feel like, it was a bit awkward for you? You wanted to hug mom and dad and you couldn't do so?
Yeah, definitely. I think I can feel that now that, when you mention it, feel the distance. So it's very strange because, it's a normal thing to do, to be able to connect with your loved ones by giving them a hug. So it's a bit, I think it's very strange that you can't do that. But going back to the topic about hugging random strangers, just to clear the point, I actually do meet people and do hug random strangers, but it's more making the point that I wouldn't be hugging them for 5 or 10 minutes because that might be a bit awkward. But I'm quite happy to actually meet people and hug them, and because my intentions are very pure, because I actually like to make people feel good. I want to make them happy, and so if it's a case of mixing in with the culture. So when I lived in Italy for about 5 or 6 months, the tradition is that you kiss people on both cheeks, and in certain parts of Italy, the men kissed each other on the cheek as well. So that was a bit different culturally, because I've never really done that before. But yeah, if you did it, it felt a bit strange. So I don't know. I think you get used to the environment you're in. I think it's a good thing. I think if you can connect at a soul level with people, regardless of their gender, their age or whatever, and you can give them true love, it can only be a good thing.
Okay, so before we go over, Mandy, what's your name? Amar Ali, John Smith, Mina Kapoor, and Vishan, and a few others, all giving a shout out. None of them giving hugs at the moment, but they're giving a big shout out. Okay, Deborah, moving on. I've got the kissy stick, you got the hug. So and the question I was asking before, I was trying to work out how I could handle giving someone a kiss, because I've got a bit of a poker face. I wouldn't let them know what I'm actually feeling. Tell me, is there a science? Is there actually a science also behind? You say hugging someone on the left side that keeps your heart chakras connected. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, when you go left cheek to left cheek, you've got the heart-to-heart connection, and it feels very different. You can experiment with, somebody that you know, and going one way. Because I always used to be a hugger from the right cheek to the right cheek, which a lot of people do that automatically. But actually, when you go the other way and you do get that heart connection, and it's like you're transmitting your love to them, and it feels very, very different. And I teach like different types of hugs, you know, like, and each hug is very different. So, for example, you can do like a big and really feel you can send that resonance to somebody else, and it can be a really healing hug.
Okay, so did I hear you?
Can I suggest something? I think this is quite a critical point in VJ Sal's life, and because he's getting sort of like a comprehension of how it's done now that he's aware, why don't we all send VJ Sal a virtual hug to see he can feel the love? Because are virtual hugs allowed, VJ Sal? Are you not going to get weird about those?
I've got a bit of remember, I've got a bit of a poker face, so I may just be getting different type of vibes, but I'm happy to take them all. Give them to me. Are you supposed to make that sound as well?
We're sending you love.
Oh yeah, I can feel it. I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it. Somebody's probably squeezing me more than they need to, I think. Okay, so
that's me, mate.
That felt different. Deborah, did you give me an extra squeeze there? I felt your extra squeeze and you hugging me. Did you do that?
I'm a gentle one.
Oh, yours is a gentle one. Who is squeezing me more than they need to? Is that you, Mary? Are you trying to squeeze me more than I need to?
Yeah, definitely.
You were squeezing me. I think you're trying to get my kissy stick out of my back pocket. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm into smiling. I smile as well. I don't know if you
smile. Okay. Right, okay. Pardon?
I just want to point out the benefits of hugging because it raises your vibration. It increases like endorphins and the happy hormones in your brain. It makes you feel better. It can lift people out of a depression. You know, so there are some real tangible benefits to hugging. So it's not something that I just do for the sake of it. I do it because it makes a difference. And I do it because it transmits that love just to another being. And you never know who might need it just in that moment. And everybody needs that physical touch, because one of the sad things about this isolation at the moment is that we have something called a failure to thrive syndrome. And if babies don't receive physical touch in the early months of their life, they can actually die through that. It's a proper syndrome. And we're finding the same thing at the moment with elderly people because they're not getting these physical contact. A lot of them are on their own. And people can die of that. So it's really serious, you know. So we can come up with gimmicks like kissy sticks about social distancing. But actually, when we look at it from a humanitarian point of view, sometimes it's better just to hug somebody. They really need it. And it's about being sensible.
What we've got is, there's very, I think we were talking about this the day before yesterday as well, that things are going back to basics. It's right. Everything is going back to basics, and those people who can't recognize the basics are probably the ones who are going to be affected the most. So, Mary, tell me, of all the things you said yesterday, I think one of the things you said was going out for very long walks, wasn't it? And something you probably haven't done for a while. Is that correct?
Well, I do quite a lot of running, and I'm quite fit, so I'm always out, to be honest. But I suppose I've been taking my children out more for walks.
Yeah, the kids out. That's right. Yeah. But we
were talking about how obviously at the moment it gets dark really early, so you have a small window before 4 o'clock to go out. Really, and important is to get out. For everybody to get out at least for an hour a day walking. Right now, I think that is banner. Really,
coming out of all this, I think that's an important tip. I think one thing everybody should try and do, and this is coming from Mary, coming from Deborah's conversation, coming from Lakhi, somehow everybody's got to take the effort to just go out. It's just therapeutic just to step out, even with all the paranoia that's being, spread around, just to step out of your flat, out of your house, out of your, wherever you're living at, your dwellings, just stepping out and getting a breath of fresh air. I think that even that is itself an excellent tip for the new year and an excellent way of trying to keep yourself focused and healthy for the new year. So Lakhi Singh, can you give me another one of your valuable tips moving on for the year 21?
I think, to be honest with you, the conversation that we're having today is significant, because I think if you are not connected or don't feel connected to, to people around you, that's very disconcerting. So I think having your health, the exercise, your mental well-being, I think really everybody should be focusing on that for next year. And regardless of whatever's happening with the pandemic, with the financial markets, with the Brexit, with the quarantine, vaccinations, it's all like some sort of bad horror movie. So I would actually not buy into the horror movie, but to live your life, because things have been a lot worse. We've had we lived in caveman times when we had no cars, no ability to travel anyway. You were stuck in your cave anyway, and you had to go and hunt, and you didn't have had to make your own tools. So just pretend you're a caveman or a cavewoman.
Yeah, probably more back in Lakhi's early days of cavemen. I was born probably a bit later than that. We didn't have caves, we had cars. But Deborah, tell me, because you took a big plunge from the mad city, from the concrete jungle, got dropped into the jungle. You had an experience, out-of-body experience, I'd call it, where you caught in, you saw things around you, and I think you called it, was it an awakening? What was the actual definition you gave to? You could see the universe, is that correct?
Well, I could see reality, like what we're living in a virtual reality simulation, and we think that this is real. And there's so much more to these physical bodies. We're multi-dimensional beings. And so, and at this moment in time, we're going through a process of awakening. And this is what this whole situation is about. People are waking up now to who they really are. And so going into 2021, it's about coming back to yourself, going deep within, not looking for things external to yourself. We can have the shiny toys, the cars, the houses, but that does not bring happiness. So it's about going inside and what does bring you happiness. And, I do a talk called The 7 Steps to Happiness, which I won't go through now because we'll do that another time. But, it's about finding those inner resources without having anything external for it to depend on. Because a lot of people say, I'll be happy when I've got that new house or when I'm in a relationship. But no, it's a choice, and you can be happy right now. And that's a mindset thing. And it's about finding the things that bring you joy in life and connecting with those on a daily basis, because by doing that, you're raising your vibration. By raising your vibration, you're changing the vibration of the people around you. And this is how we change the world. This is how we make a difference, by working on ourselves.
Can you, Mary, can you relate to what Deborah's saying there? Because, you're a bit of a inspirational talker. You're a bit of you've got your new name of MC Femim. But can you relate to what Deborah's saying there? Do you feel that your own vibrations, if you want to call them that, or your own attitude or the way you are. You're so positive. I think you had a tough 2019, but you come across as being upbeat, happy, energetic. Do you think that rubs off on the people around you? I mean, you've got 2 kids. So do you find when you don't have a good day that it does affect them? Or are you always in a good mood like you are, and the kids are like you are, they're like the reflection of their mother, and are they always positive, upbeat about everything?
Yeah, I thought what Deborah said was amazing. I totally resonate with that. I personally don't think there's anything called a good day or a bad day. And actually, I believe that our most difficult times, what if actually our most difficult times are our best times? So I tend to look at things upside down. Anytime something comes at me now, which could be perceived as negative or what have you, I say thank you, because there's a big learning there. There's something there that you can't see right now, but you're going to see at some point that actually that was quite good that happened, and that happens all the time. So I just keep my energy open, completely open. I don't even, I don't like to class things as good or bad, because that's just a point of view. That's just something we made up about that situation, really. Obviously, people are going to say, oh, what if a child gets cancer? Or, people give you lots of instances or what have you. But, I listen a lot to Eckhart Tolle, and he said, life is not here to make you happy. Life is here to make you conscious. And this year, it's the shift of the consciousness in the world, and it's something I spend a lot of time on reading, listening, talking about. So we can't say there hasn't been a shift, and the shift has gone back to the self, and it's gone back to treasuring and living and accepting every moment. And we were very much in a future culture. When I'm this, when I'm that. So I think a lot of us aren't there now. We're just enjoying just the small things again. And I'm just really hoping, people keep saying, when are we going to get back to what we were? I don't want us to get back to what we were. I don't think we can get back to what we were. We have got to continue to keep open and just have that spiritual side to us. So yeah, complete shift.
Wonderful.
In the world.
I think good. Yeah. In a different way, Mary and Deborah are speaking the same language. It's a very positive. It's amazing. I probably would expect somebody like Deborah, or somebody, if I met them and I didn't know their background, didn't understand their strength, internal strength. It takes a lot of internal strength to reject the materialistic world around you. It takes a lot of internal strength to accept what you've got is as good as you need, not what you want. What do you say? Like, you're in the square mile, you're in that big, ocean of extreme exuberance and opulence, and the evil that comes with money and wealth. How do you, would you ever perceive meeting someone as wonderful and energetic and positive as Deborah or Mary in the square? Have you found people like that in the square mile? When you're walking around, do you find people with that type of attitude?
What you do is usually about 1 in 1,000. So I think we're blessed to have Deborah and MC Fem with us today. So unfortunately, in the heart of the city, in places like Mayfair, you see the extremes of all types of personalities. You do see lots of people that are not materialistic, as well as people materialistic, but on the whole. But anybody who is very materialistic, they don't usually seem to be happy. You can tell by their demeanor. It's usually quite low energy, and it's all about what you've got, not not maybe always able to appreciate the basic things in life, I'd say. So I usually try not to take on anything that other people around me are doing. So I think every day is a day of protection when you go into the city. You don't really want to be embroiled in people's energy around materialism. You really want to be having your own energy and protect your energy from, you could call it dark forces of commercialism.
Sure. Okay, Deborah, you're in, if I'm not wrong, I'm trying to work out, you're up somewhere in the northwest. I think it's, is it near Manchester? That's right. Okay. Rochester. Okay.
No, Lancashire.
Lancashire, that's right, Lancashire, right. Okay, tell me, how do you perceive of material things around you? I know, look, you're into alternative